All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome from around the world. Thank you for joining, everyone. I'd like to be the first to welcome you to this exciting event, Agentic Automation, the Age of AI Twins. We are live. This is not a recording, so please use the chat to say hello. Tell us where you're joining us from anywhere around the world. And today you're going to hear from some really amazing experts sharing their insights about the AI economy. You're going to hear about the future of AI. You're going to hear about the state of agentic automation today, and you're going to see some real-time demonstrations of AI agents in action. I'm John Arnold. I'm the head of CRM advisory at Creatio. I'm joined by our amazing executive team at Creatio. So we're going to start with some short introductions, beginning with our esteemed Chief Executive Officer, Catherine. Catherine, please take the floor.
Thank you, John, and hello, everyone. We are thrilled, excited to welcome all of you at this amazing event. We have a ton of information to share with you, and greetings from Boston. We're here for you during the coming hour. Let's be as active as possible. As always, I'm asking everyone, we want to make this thing very interactive. It's a live event, so any questions, any comments, any feedback you have for us, please share it in chat.
Andy Duane, Chief Growth Officer here at Creatio. I'm joining today from Los Angeles. I love seeing all of those messages in the chat. Please bring them on. Please share with us your emojis. And our goal is to make sure that this session is as practical as it can possibly be, to make sure that you can get very practical takeaways and you can apply them in your businesses right away.
Hey everyone, Jason Okofsky, Chief Strategy and Transformation Officer here at Creatio, also joining from sunny Los Angeles, California today. It's so great to see folks from really all around the world. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. You've heard the themes already about keeping this interactive. We love to take questions, comments in the chat around this as we explore some really exciting and innovative topics today around agentic AI automation. We've got some great content, some great live demos to share with you around some really practical use cases. And we've got a great interview lined up as well with Dr. Ja-Naé Duane, who will introduce again in a moment. And looking forward to spending this next hour with you guys and exploring these topics together.
Hi, everyone. I'm Burley Kawasaki. I lead up product marketing strategy at Creatio. I'm joined today from Toronto, Canada, so we truly global in terms of this live broadcast. And I'm excited to really dive deeper into a practical look at this new era of AI, talk about what that means, and importantly, how agents, how agentic solutions can really transform your business and really enable new forms of productivity.
And hi, everyone. Alex Petronenko, VP of Solution Consulting at Creatio. Dialing in from this side of the pond. Very excited to be running some use cases absolutely live today for you guys.
All right, thank you, everyone. And a little bit later on, you're going to be hearing from, as Jason mentioned, Dr. Ja-Naé Duane, futurist, best-selling author, and AI researcher from Brown University and also MIT, and also from Dan Rafferty. He's the Chief Technology Officer at Purplebricks. But to kick things off, what is this new AI economy? So, Catherine, please take the virtual stage and tell us what's going on with AI right now.
Absolutely excited to do that. And listen, with many of you on this webinar, we've been talking about it for a while now. What we're seeing is basically a completely new era of automation, similar to how we entered 40 years ago, I would say, into the internet era, and every company became an internet company, and basically digital transactions have become our norm. Exactly the same is happening right now. All of us, all our organizations, growing companies will become AI companies. And Creatio sees our mission in helping organizations globally becoming these AI companies and helping you with the tools that will enable you in this completely new era of automation. And let's dive into a couple of examples that we'd like to share with you. Burley, will you take it from here, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to make it a little bit more tangible, I'm going to talk about how the AI economy is revolutionizing a few industries, starting with banking, financial services. We're all used to having to go into a bank and go to an ATM to access services. The internet changed that, of course, with mobile banking, online banking, making it convenient to access information around the clock. But what we're seeing now with the AI economy is really how it's just transforming, reimagining the types of services that we can have. Wealth management, as an example, has always been something that really was, for the high net worth individuals. But now you can use agents actually to receive personalized financial advice around the clock, tailored to your needs and where you are in your financial journey. And that's revolutionizing the types of services that banks provide. We all buy things, right? And we're used to already that, we've shifted with the internet economy from having to go to a store and wait in lines to now being able to go online and get something, next day or even same day. But how many of you, when you buy, a new shirt or a shoe, you actually buy 3 of them, right? One smaller, one larger, because no one knows exactly how it's going to fit. The AI economy is changing a lot of the shopping experience and really using technologies like augmented reality to picture, the object on you or in your house before you even purchase, making it even seamless and easier to conduct retail journeys. Finally, life sciences, this is changing our lives very literally. We've seen this, explosion of new technology for helping with, inventing new drugs, making medical discoveries. But even with the internet and sharing of data, this would take, years, sometimes decades to make a breakthrough, just because of the massive amount of trial data that you had to analyze. The AI economy is changing that, of course, with agents now processing in a matter of months what used to take decades, and that's accelerating the delivery of new drugs, new gene therapies that you could not imagine even just a few years ago. So incredible sort of set of examples about how the AI economy is really changing our lives and changing the way that we do business.
Brilliant. And then the question is, okay, how exactly this new type of AI companies that we all will become, all different kinds of organizations will become AI companies. So what exactly it means? And the answer is pretty straightforward. We're going to be blending, we're going to be merging human and digital talent working together for our organizations. And this slide actually is a wonderful example of the work that can be better done by humans, like interactions and building relationships and ideation and strategic decisions and leadership, of course. So basically everything, like think of it this way. Everything related to soft skills, it stays with humans. All the routine jobs, routine tasks that can be automated by AI agents, that's what will be steadily transitioning into the world of AI agents. And again, we will be showing you AI agents live today, how they work inside Creatio. But again, we're building more and more agents each and every day. And these blend, this partnership between human talent and digital talent, that's the magic of AI world. So basically, in practical terms, what exactly it means, many of you know that the crown jewel of Creatio as a product is our workflow engine, a BPM engine that you see a small screenshot of it here on this slide. So what we're doing right now, we're adding agents inside the workflow tool, the workflow engine. So basically part of the work will be still manual, whatever you need to do for humans, for example, to verify things or to approve. But at the same time, a lot of tasks will be performed and are being performed by AI agents already today.
All right, thank you so much, Catherine and Burley. And now over to you, Jason, to introduce our special guest for today to talk about the future of AI.
Yeah, thanks so much, John. Folks, I am so excited today to introduce a great conversation that Dr. Ja-Naé Duane and I had. Dr. Ja-Naé Duane is a futurist, author of Super Shifts. She's a behavioral scientist, award-winning innovator, and of course, the author of the new book, Super Shifts. We had a great conversation around the next era, the age of AI and agentic automation and augmentation, and how these strategic shifts will impact us, culture, society, and of course our businesses, and how we can plan for this as business leaders. So looking forward to hearing more from Dr. Ja-Naé Duane. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look. Dr. Ja-Naé Duane, it's so great to have you here today.
Oh, Jason, thank you for having me.
We just heard about the AI economy. How do you see agentic automation and AI twins fitting into this transformation?
So in Super Shifts, we talk about IntelliFusion, and this is really the blending of human, AI, and machine. So much of that actually starts with agentic automation and AI twins. They're like your lieutenants. Not only will they execute orders, but they will also go out and scout, they'll negotiate, and they'll also bring back opportunities for you.
So as we head into this new age of intelligence and this big shift, how can organizations find the balance between augmentation and automation while still keeping employees at the center?
This balance is very much like being a conductor in a high-powered orchestra. As we think about Web 2 or that internet economy, the tools that we use, those were our sheet music, like they were static and procedural. However, we are now in this AI-powered economy, and we have agents in many ways that are not only just musicians, but are complete new sections of this orchestra. Every leader then has to figure out, how do I really harness that power? So identify the places in which agents can really play and amplify what the company's already doing, but then double down on the things that really make us human: empathy, creativity, and that personal connection to one another.
From an employee perspective, the skills that they need to operate and be successful in the AI economy, how do you see that transforming?
We need to double down first on AI fluency so that we can move from fear more to competency. When we're thinking about some of the skills that we're training, it's more about adaptive pathways that are dynamic. How can we frame up prompting in a way that gets us better responses? What are ways in which we can start to decompose goals so that we're reverse engineering from, say, P&L levers that we're looking to hit, such as customer retention or revenue or pricing? The other piece I would really say, and this goes down to leaders, it's all about how do you frame up AI inside your organization. And I would highly recommend saying AI is here to be really an augmentative partner for you. And then let's put humans at critical decision points.
What parallels do you see when you think about past eras and past transformations with the agentic automation and the AI economy that we're in now?
I actually don't think we have really great parallels. And AI has, for the first time, introduced non-human actors into the equation. We have no blueprint to really set the trajectory for where we are headed. So we are in very uncharted territory as we speak, but in my mind, that's also an opportunity.
How can we find our way in this new era?
Whatever playbook you had, get rid of it. Linear planning and also incremental innovation, those are a thing of the past. So how can you actually leverage AI and leverage agents and twins to identify the path forward? What humans do really well is that we can set that vision. What you can then utilize AI for is really start to adaptive scenario plan. And the leader today is really not the one who has all the answers, but the one who can ask better questions and be willing to pivot while keeping that vision constantly top of mind.
When you think about the role of CRM and agentic workflows and automation, what do you think are the possibilities here and the role for that to play in the new AI economy?
When we think about CRMs, we need to shift from CRMs to CXRMs. And what I mean by that is cognitive experience relationship management system, because you don't just have humans as buyers or users. Instead, you have humans and their agents. So how can you provide a bit of that holistic approach, providing solutions in real time and in a way that is personalized? What I would also say is start to change your success metrics.
Where do you see this shift evolving to over the next 5, 10, maybe years?
I love this question, but also being practical, I'll bring it back and say, let's talk about 3 to 5. You'll have an agent for your education, for your kids' education, for your finances, for your work, and then your work agent will work with the organization's agents. Focus on today, figure out where agents for you and your organization make sense so that you can start to build towards that 3 to 5 year mark and really start to leapfrog over the competition.
Thanks for joining us today, and congratulations again on your new book, Super Shifts.
Thank you for having me.
Let's take a couple of questions now, and I will pass a few questions to Dr. Duane now. I saw a really, really impactful question about convincing leaders. So someone within our audience mentioned that they're all very excited about introducing AI, but how and which techniques we can use to convince leadership in organizations to be more bold and aggressive with deploying AI. So Dr. Duane, what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, so what I would say is whether or not leaders are on board or not, your employees are already starting to explore what AI looks like inside your organization. So being able to really set the narrative of we as an organization are going to start to be transparent. And even if that's ground up, bottom up, and bringing those values, and maybe they are new values for the organization, but bringing those to leadership and also identifying the use cases for the use of agents. Because what I find that whether or not we're talking about co-pilots or agents or even sometimes chatbots, sometimes leadership has trouble understanding what are the use cases internally, and then also what are the use cases for our customers or our users. So if you can start to bring those to the conversation, then you can start to change leadership's mind and create a different culture that is more transparent, that allows for some of this experimentation that's already occurring to happen with guardrails and within a sandbox.
Yeah, and you mentioned a pilot. I saw another question. So what would be a nice set of metrics to use in those types of agentic pilots?
Yeah, so as we're thinking about pilots, it's really about, if we're looking on the customer side, can we extend or prolong that customer lifetime value? Are we reducing are we increasing our productivity and increasing efficiency, and so reducing time, maybe even to get to market? I think it depends on where the use case is, but you can have metrics that are reframed both internally and externally that really make sense depending on if it is an agent or if it is an assistant.
And Catherine, I got a question for you. Someone was asking, will AI agents also cover soft skills that are very traditional for human workers? What are your thoughts there?
Listen, I'll stay old-fashioned. I do believe that building relationships and leadership, that's gonna stay with humans. I don't know what's gonna happen when AGI finally emerges and being developed, but before AGI era, it's gonna stay with humans. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to dive into the survey? Okay, you have one more question, because I'd like to dive into the survey results.
Yeah, I have one more for Burley, and we'll move on. So Burley, talk to us a little bit more about what are those kind of immediate AI agents that you would recommend our customers and partners to deploy. So what would be your recommendation? Which one to pick?
Yeah, I think it's important to use that first pilot, to really learn and to build momentum and confidence. So generally speaking, I think there are some quick wins you can use, especially with some of our out-of-the-box agents that both deliver some of the business value, but also don't take a long time to deploy. And so some of the easy ones, you'll see some of these in the demo, but things that can summarize meetings or help you prepare for internal activities or tasks. These are all things that don't require a ton of process change and can be done out of the box with good learning. But to sort of build on top of this discussion, we've seen this bold view of the future, but let's talk about where are we today. And I'm excited to be able to share with you for the first time ever the results from a survey that we just launched. It was a global survey of both business and technology leaders across the globe. Started fielding back in May, and so we're pull out a few key insights from this, and the full survey will be available via a download code at the end. But the first takeaway from the research findings was that AI was, and agentic AI in particular, was no longer just sort of this tech pilot and looking for sort of technical sort of opportunities, but it had really become a boardroom priority. And you can see here that 86% of decision makers believe that AI agents will be important to their business strategy over the next 2 to 3 years. And so when you shift from being sort of cost cutting only to being a strategic enabler, that really requires C-level commitment, because it's going to require coordination and change across the enterprise. The second major insight was, we've already been talking about this topic of reimagining how humans and agents work together. It's not about replacing the teams, it's about augmenting them. And so you can see below, we did a survey of different teams, different use cases. The ones that came up to the top clearly from the data were sales, marketing, service. And that's not just because we're selling a CRM product, but this is actually where we see the most ROI impact, and where it impacts frontline workers, right? Helps them really achieve more. And then the last takeaway was around the intersection between AI and no code. Roughly 2/3 of the survey respondents are using low code or no code today. And what we saw was that the solutions that they were increasingly building were optimized for AI. And that was really the focus for almost 60%, was that they were building in the next year to 18 months more AI solutions. And that it's really the combination of no code and AI together that really unlocks the power of AI. So incredibly exciting to see some of the current data. Again, you can go to the survey at the end, download it, but it really underscores that this is the foundation for this new era of AI, and that it's really separating sort of the winners from the rest of the pack. They're able to deliver more. They're able to more boldly lead and really empower them to provide better customer service.
And what we want to do right now, we want to, again, as Andy said in the beginning, we were planning this webinar to be as practical for you guys as possible. So we want to dive into live cases. And I saw multiple questions in a chat about, okay, which particular use cases do you believe are the most popular? We're going to be showing it to you live, okay? Prior to doing that, we have folks on this webinar who haven't heard about Creatio prior to this webinar, just joined us and learning about the company and the technology we deliver. So just a very high level architecture of Creatio. So Creatio is a platform. So first and foremost, this is an agentic no-code platform. And the crown jewel, the center of the platform, is our workflow management engine. And of course, AI is at its core. So what we do at Creatio, we set a new standard of combining CRM applications, marketing, sales, service management, workflow management on a single platform, natively combining applications and AI agents together. And the most exciting part is that you can build as many agents on the platform as you'd like. You can use our standard agents. And by the way, we release agents almost every week. So you can see, and also our partners do the same. So even on our marketplace, you can see AI agents released by our partners. Creatio as a vendor releases our out-of-the-box agents. But most importantly, outside of out-of-the-box agents, you can build as many AI agents for your own workflows as you'd like. So we do not limit our users or our clients with the number of agents available on the platform. Moreover, we actually encourage you to build as many agents as you'd like, or you can take our existing agents and you can reconfigure them for your particular needs of your organization. So basically, 3 pillars of Creatio: AI at its core, ready to use CRM applications and agents working together, and all of that on a single agentic platform with no code capabilities. And no code has always been a core differentiation of Creatio, this ability to design your applications and agents. And just as a summary, what we're seeing in reality right now with our clients, they use agents to build applications, and then they use no code tools to actually fine tune those applications. We will be showing this live to you today.
So I'll dive in and I'll talk about sort of the first theme. We talk a lot about AI and how intelligent it is and all the things it can do. But I think actually one of the most important things about AI is how it transforms the experience of how humans work with software. traditionally you've had to learn how to use software. This flips that, right? Where the software now learns how to work with us and work in our language. And so that's really a powerful just accelerator to having users be productive and use these new capabilities. I'll start with this notion, actually back on the last slide, of conversational UIs. And the conversational UI, you'll see you can now just stay in a fully immersive, single screen prompt. You'll see this in the demo, and that just changes the way that you talk to your software and that you interact with it. Furthermore, the conversational experience doesn't just stay inside CRM or in our applications, but you'll see that this follows you throughout your workday. And so it can be an agent that you work with on your mobile phone or in Outlook or in Zoom. And that really expands the value and how it impacts your day-to-day work, because it's optimized to follow you and be part of that, and has the memory and context for everything that I'm doing without having to worry about I'm shifting between different tools. And then the last point here is super important. It's the fact that it's really proactive. It's taking actions. It's suggesting steps to me, and it's not just based on the data that's inside Creatio, but it's connected into all the underlying core systems and all the data, and using that to intelligently recommend things like next best action, or proposing things that are based on this aggregate view of both structured and unstructured data. So we're going to see this in action. And so I'm going to tee up what Alex will show you. He'll start in this conversational UI and show you how fluid and easy it is to move back and forth between applications, productivity tools, all using the power of natural language. Alex, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Burley. And hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. And let me just start by sharing my screen. And guys, from our side, please give me a few thumbs up as soon as my screen is visible. Okay. All right. Thank you, Anthony. Perfect. So excellent. Let's get going. Now, obviously, whenever our users start the day in life, they can be working with a lot of different areas within Creatio. Their homepages, dashboards, other records in the system that they might be interested in. But where we really want to start the journey of working with AI agents is by full immersion into the conversation, right? And help us, the agent, actually go through our day-to-day by using this natural language. And of course, here as an account executive, I can ask Creatio about the progress with one of my opportunities. So let's do exactly that, right? Let's go with, hey, can you tell me about the recent opportunity with Alpha Business, right? And of course, I'm mistyping things. I'm a little worried here at this big webinar. But the idea here is that, Creatio AI is going to fully grasp my request, right? It's going to be done looking into the business context of my user. It's going to give me a very consistent overview of what exactly was going on with our customer. And we can as well go and ask for summarizing the next steps, right? So anything that we've discussed over Teams or Zoom that can be actually carried over to Creatio. And again, Creatio is going to understand all of this data and is going to be providing me with a consistent overview of the next steps, but not just those steps, but who are the best teams to engage, whether this is somebody internally within the sales team, whether this is the business analyst, or even solution consultants team, helping with due diligence. And of course, the idea here is that I can continue the same way, right? And I can work within Creatio. But the idea here also is that we don't only work within one business application, right? There are a lot of communication tools that we use on a daily basis. And the excellent thing here is that this conversation actually carries over across all of our tools and all of our applications. So if I wanted to continue the conversation with my productivity agents or the sales agent and ask him to help me prepare the email to SC team, asking for help with the due diligence, I can easily do that. And again, the agent now continues to carry over the business context from one application to another, so that I can seamlessly pick it up wherever I'm talking to the agent. And of course, the idea here is that this is going to help us be more productive, more efficient, and have this two-way communication from Creatio to Outlook, from Outlook to Creatio, where all of the data is shared, is being safe and secure, and I can easily utilize all of these tools. But right now, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's assume that we had a meeting with our customer, and we're always on the go. here at Creatio, I'm pretty sure that all of our customers and our audience is on the go as well. So how can we make this part of the work even more agile? Well, of course, we can move over to our mobile application, right, and our mobile platform, where Creatio AI, of course, is fully embedded and the conversation continues. So this full immersion into working with my lieutenant, as Dr. Duane mentioned, right, with my personal assistant is right here at my fingertips all the time. And we can post, not just, ask for help, but we can give commands to our lieutenants as well. So we can ask something like, had a great meeting with Alpha, discussed strategic steps in the opportunity. Please add this as a note. And just like that, I can do one thing that, or one of the many things that account executives hate so much is updating CRM data automatically by just telling somebody, go and update the data right there straight away without having to, again, log in, search for the record, update it, and be bothered by such mundane activities. And ultimately, you're going to share our vision into this fully immersive conversational experience. And team, back over to you.
Alex, that's incredible. And by the way, kudos to the audience. You're so active. We love all of those questions. And we're going to pick a couple of them and discuss. So I got to pick this one because there are a lot of questions, and Catherine, I will ask you to address it. What is the biggest difference with some other agent builders, but also with Salesforce? Let's just clear this out.
Yes, absolutely. And this is by far my favorite question, guys. So the value, it's all about the value that Creatio delivers to our amazing clients. So first and foremost, it is the platform. We discussed it already, but the key differentiation is that you have best-in-class, out-of-the-box, ready-to-use marketing, sales, service, and workflow automation products on top of a single platform, and including AI agents. So basically what Creatio delivers to you is the combination of the best of two worlds, if you will. From one end, this is an agentic no-code platform for your workflow automation. And from the other end, these are out-of-the-box, ready-to-use applications that you can start using today together with agents included into those applications. There are so many differences with the legacy applications available on the market today. And the core difference, Andy, is that AI is at the core of Creatio. We're not providing it to clients as an add-on for some extra price or unbelievable numbers, frankly, that we're seeing from our legacy competitors. It is Creatio. AI agents have become the central part of Creatio these days. And as I shared with you, we are building 100 agents by the end of this year.
That's incredible. Burley, I have a question for you from Richard, who is represented a financial services organization. And Richard is saying that, yes, a lot of those agentic automations can add incredible value to the process, but how do you control the security? How do you make sure that you stay compliant?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, agents, I think as people are starting to explore them, the top concern I hear is around security and governance. So there's a couple of ways that we ensure that your data stays secure. First of all, this builds on the existing security and data architecture so that all the data that you maintain and secure inside Creatio stays secure. You don't share this, it stays in your region, or if you're deploying it even in a private cloud, it stays in your instance. So it can be configured to support the highest amounts of data control and security. Furthermore, as we work with some of the large language models like OpenAI or Anthropic, we never share sensitive data, right? We share only sort of selective contextual data needed for the exchange, but we apply really a strict set of guardrails to ensure that your data stays yours and that we're not accidentally leaking it to train any of the models. And that's all powered by the framework for security and governance that is part of the Agentic platform.
Jason, and I got one for you. So there are multiple questions about LLMs. What kind of LLMs we use, how we can support LLMs that our customers can bring to the table. So let's address this question.
Yeah, great topic. And actually, let me start with the question before that. Is Creatio an LLM? Because sometimes there's some confusion around that. So hopefully you guys are starting to see now, we are a no-code platform with CRM and workflow automation, and we have this AI layer that's built in. We are not an LLM, but you can use any number of the LLMs. We're frankly LLM agnostic. You can choose the best one for the tool or for the job, for the question, to be as efficient as possible. And we also have the capability for bring your own LLM as well. For those of you organizations that are farther advanced and already have stood up your own instances, we can of course integrate with those as well. So lots of options to bring you the most value.
Incredible. And I believe we have a lot of content for the next part. So let's move on. We're going to make a couple of Q&A stops along the way.
Sounds good. Yeah, everybody, I want you to think a little bit about CRM and the applications that are involved in customer relationship management, or dare I say what Dr. Duane said, CXRM. You have to rethink all of the possibilities. For 30 years plus, CRM has promised to be the enterprise level connection to the customer. And with AI and Agentic, that's a whole new way to think about marketing, sales, and service. So I want to share how a single platform, a unified platform for marketing, sales, and service can really help you to rethink everything about your marketing, sales, and service workflows. So with Creatio, marketers are often challenged with having enough insights and focusing on creativity. And this allows marketers to really focus on driving growth. So the things that you see on the left are some of the things that CRMs or marketing automation platforms typically handle. And on the right, there are agents. And I should note too that you can build prompts, skills, agents, and multi-agent networks in Creatio and use some of those out of the box as well. So all of those are possibilities for marketers so that they can do things like you want to do leads and opportunities, great. You want to do buying groups or e-commerce, all of those are possibilities. It allows marketing to stay focused on creativity and on driving the growth for the customer. Creatio for sales, it enables salespeople to do the thing that's most important, focus on selling, not administrative tasks, not learning clunky workflows, but Creatio provides this inbound and outbound sellers with a whole bunch of enterprise-grade sales capabilities and AI agents that can help them and be their twins to do their jobs better. And again, focus on the relationships, really taking the focus off of the technology and putting it on the people. And Creatio for service helps service people and customer success to manage their customer cases. They can use Customer 360 applications with full access to knowledge bases and next best actions and offers, all recommended by AI intelligence. So with Creatio, the customer experience can be totally awesome because AI agents are helping people to focus on those relationships. So let's see a little bit of this Agentic CRM in action.
John, if you don't mind, let's go to the previous slide. So guys, what John is showing to you, the 3 applications, marketing, sales, and service, what you're seeing on the slide here, and I see questions in chat, so I want to address it, is the out-of-the-box functionality, which is frankly, we believe these days is a commodity. Let's say knowledge management, productivity management, case management. These are commodity capabilities of a service management product. But in Creatio, you have these capabilities combined with AI agents. So we basically encourage our clients to reimagine their case management processes and workflows together with AI agents. So with Creatio, you are getting these 2 worlds in one product. John, back to you.
Thanks, Catherine. And I'm going to pass it off to Alex because we're going to see a live demonstration. This is a sales management use case in action. So Alex, take it away.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, John. And again, let me start by sharing my screen and make sure that we're live and locked and loaded. Andy, a thumbs up for you, please, if you can see it. All right, perfect. All right, awesome. So again, just making sure, and we're back to our full immersive conversational experience with our agents, right? And by the way, the idea here is that not only can we, always have a new chat running, but even if we're continuing the same conversation within the same dialogue with our agents, they can actually seamlessly switch between agents depending on the task and depending on the ask that we're going to have. And of course, there are going to be particular situations, right, where the agents themselves will actually understand that you need to change focus from the conversation to a different area, right? And that the agent basically needs to step out of the spotlight and give you a little bit more of a view over the data that's going on in the CRM system, highlighting those particular areas that require our attention. And of course, we always make the final decision about the next step, right? We're deciding how we want to drive this conversation. So the human is not just in the loop, but it's actually in control, making sure, and actually in command. And in this case, right, we can drive this experience to what we do want to see on the screen, right? Where, for example, if we want to see the plan A and plan B for making our quota, Creatio agents, again, are going to be looking into the data setting behind our CRM to our pipeline. It's going to analyze each individual opportunity and give us particular reasoning of why do we believe that this is our plan A, why do we believe that this is plan B, so that our users and our account executives can always make this informed decision about the next step and the exact plan of action that is going to be carried out by our productivity agent, by our sales agent, by our forecast agents, right? And of course, in this case, we are fully in control of the next steps, what we're going to be performing, how we're going to be performing these actions. So if I want to jump straight away, skipping a few steps of that are tactical, we can take it easily to the next step, right? And of course, in this case, by looking at more high-level overview, by having the agent switch from tactical to strategic, we can carry out by executing our strategy much more easier. John, this is all from the second use case, and please take it over.
That's wonderful. I see how a lot of sales leaders can benefit from this. Your AI agent is helping you to hit your number. Who doesn't want to get that agent? We have a couple of questions that we'd like to also address as we move to our next part of the content. But let's talk a little bit more about training agents, training and fine-tuning agents. Burley, do you want to address it? I saw multiple questions about this.
Yeah, training is actually a huge component of how you deploy and really get the value out of agents. But by default, the agent is smart and it can use the LLMs, but to really tune it to your business, there's a couple things you can do. One is that you can identify the specific skills. You'll see this in action a little bit, and the skills tune what it can do, what it can't do, but it knows the tasks. Secondly, you can define workflows that guide you through particular steps, and so you can model the workflows in your business that are specific. And then finally, if you have practices, procedural documents, et cetera, you can link those into the agent, and so it can use those as well to provide guardrails around the way it should respond to your business process.
And yes, we can use machine learning and all sorts of different data sets to train agents. So that's part of the cohesive Creatio experience. Catherine, I also wanted to ask you a question about prevention of hallucinations with agents.
Oh, that's a huge one. So again, as I promised you, we want to be very practical at this webinar. What we're seeing in real life, what we're seeing in the field with our clients. So first of all, yes, you can absolutely build multiple agents, and we currently have clients with dozens of agents on the Creatio platform already, which is fantastic, which is great. So what happens next? The next step, as Burley said, we need to train those agents and we need to test those agents on our data to make sure that there are no hallucinations and the quality of their work is a good quality. And again, listen, for me, this is, again, it's a very good analog with humans, right? We need to train, we need to onboard first, and then we're going to consume the results. And by the way, when you configure your applications or your agents in Creatio, you not only use agents to build agents, but also you use our no-code tools. And that's the beauty of it, that you combine two worlds, no-code from one end and agentic platform from another end. So that's the power of Creatio. Jason, would you like to dive in here? Agentic platform.
Yes, thanks, Catherine. Amazing. So, folks, we've been talking a lot about the platform and the no-code platform and how it comes together. We showed some specific examples, but let's take a step back to look at the platform itself. And of course, this future of work begins with an immersive AI experience. And instead of navigating through forms and menus and paths, users can interact naturally through these conversational interfaces. It can anticipate your needs, suggest next best actions, and it can actually stay with you across other applications like Outlook, Teams, mobile, and web. So these agents are not just add-ons. They're really coworkers that are embedded directly into your daily tools, delivering these insights and taking action in real time. But what really makes this extra powerful is that you don't need specialized development teams to create what we're showing. With no code, anyone can easily design and deploy AI agents and apps, configuring workflows and linking data, and activating these AI skills through intuitive drag and drop interfaces. And as we've said earlier, this really democratizes innovation, ensuring that the people closest to the business challenge can use all of these easy to configure tools to actually shape the solution. So to show how all this really comes together, Alex is going to demonstrate how our dashboard agent can use natural language interface to build analytics and draw insights in seconds, turning these questions into charts, dashboards, and insights instantly. And this, by the way, is a great example of the speed and empowerment that's only possible by bringing AI and no-code approach together, which was a question that we had earlier. So Alex, please show us.
Nice, absolutely. And once again, is my screen visible? Is it okay? Can we kick it off? All right, excellent. All right, awesome. So it's not just the dashboard agent, right? But I'd like to call it development agent, because what it really allows us to do is to have additional areas like additional charts, like for the opportunities being displayed for our users on demand, right? Whenever they require us to have this additional metrics viewed instantly. And of course, the idea here is that as soon as we are diving into the additional analytics, right, we can again switch between these views and focus ourselves fully on the data that has been displayed. So if we want to again deep dive into the data that has been already generated, we can ask to rebuild the chart into a different format, for example, the column chart, and to show total opportunity values, let's say by the owners, right? So again, doubling down into the analytics, right? Or requesting for additional data sets being shown to us and represent in a different view. And all of this gives me an unstoppable ability to have the agent not only provide data, right, but as well analyze with me. And of course, one of the additional great differentiators for us is not just the ability to use the conversational agents, right, or other agents, but actually to take control over them, and not only to modify existing agents and existing skills that they'll have, but as well to actually build new ones completely from scratch. So giving us the ability to actually implement unique agents for each individual organization. So whether this is going to be your HR agent, whether this is going to be your procurement agents, whether this is going to be your specific unique lieutenants and agents. And hopefully this answered the question, what is the no-code and what are the no-code agents of Creatio?
Wow, that's actually more than answered the question. A couple of additional questions. I saw a comment about an educational potential customer who wants to automate a process to automate student onboarding, if I got it correctly. We actually have an incredible similar project we've done with South University, where we are covering student onboarding processes. That's exactly what we've done before. So please connect with our team. We would be delighted to showcase those examples and templates to you. Burley, I will get back to you on training. There's still a couple of questions about how do we get training data? What will be a source of training data? Let's clarify this.
Yeah, training data can come from a number of places. We talked a little bit about machine learning. You can take your own data, historical data, and train it, and this allows the agent to be better at predictive AI, things like next best offer or scoring a lead. A different type of data is not necessarily historical data, but procedural process data. So you may have guidelines, practices. These may be in just Word documents that then you can feed into the agent, and it can then apply sort of a large language model essentially to understand and reason over existing practice documents. And then the third way is just really helping to tune the workflow. Right, there are things that the agent should sort of figure out itself and sort of be able to adjust or respond. And then there's other things where you want to prescriptively give it, the series of 4 steps that it should follow. And so when you need to guide it a little bit more specifically, you can define procedural workflows that really help make sure the process is exactly following your business process.
Yeah, Catherine, and I also wanted to ask you about the way how we control execution of multiple agents. Like, where do we see all of those agents? How can we actually combine them into a single workflow?
Yeah, but everything related to everything. So let me start by saying that governance, compliance, and basically defining those guardrails is the most important thing at Creatio, because we obviously serve massive enterprises. And keep in mind that every piece of data that your user of Creatio can see in the traditional part of the application, not with agents, but like when you go to the customer page, for example, the data that you will be allowed to see when you work with agents, you will see exactly this part of data. Like you won't be able to see any extra information about that. So basically, access rights, they are transitioned to our agents as well. So to your point, Andy, we want to make sure that everything related to compliance, to access rights, it's the same for all our traditional applications and agents working together.
Yes, and we have our unified command center where you can see execution of agents, and also we can take multiple agents and we can design and apply them into a single workflow. I believe Jason had that on his slide, where we have one workflow and there are multiple agents included. Someone mentioned in the chat about marketing agents connecting to service agents. In reality, we're talking about a unified customer journey. So our customers, they don't care what are names of our agents. What they do care is to make sure that we provide them with seamless experience. And that's exactly what we achieve by combining agents and humans into a single workflow. There was another question about actually case studies, and I'm glad that it came at this time, because that's exactly what we wanted to showcase. In addition to an incredible product demo that Alex performed today, we wanted to show you real customers that are utilizing those agents and seeing real business outcomes by combining digital talent and human talent. So let's take a look at how Purplebricks is innovating with Creatio AI.
Dan, thank you very much for joining us today. When you first started working with Creatio, you were actually using Salesforce before.
We inherited some technology from both of those two constituent businesses. The Salesforce implementation, it's fair to say, was not popular. So Creatio, we sort of got introduced through a colleague who was working with us at the time. You took the very brave step of giving me access to it for a weekend. Within 6 hours of a Saturday, I put together a system that convinced me that this was going to allow me to do everything that I needed to do. So it's been a really impressive sort of first phase that we did, but we also took Creatio on with a view to the future. It wasn't just discreetly to solve the Salesforce problem.
What does the new era of CRM mean to you?
We're now getting into a phase now where the CRM is going to do the CRMing for you. It's not customer relationship management anymore. It is the manager. Yeah, it's the system understanding what's happening with a customer, then being able to take the next step and understand what's going to take the customer forward, and then actually doing that.
How does Creatio and the AI and the automation within it give you an advantage in managing your different processes for your customers?
We use Creatio AI to understand what's being asked, what the opportunity is, how much juice is in this lead,
Yeah.
And then we can decide appropriately as to how we best tackle that to maximize everything. Interesting part for us with Creatio is being able to move from a digital world back into a manual and back to a digital, and how easy it is to configure that combination of man and machine.
And in terms of the no-code element, specifically, how has that no-code helped you?
We've got the first phase out under immense time pressure. I don't think we could have done that with any tooling that's other than Creatio. What was really interesting though, and we've done 3 or 4 projects where we've deepened Creatio's impact within our business since then, is that we've put things live quickly and then you receive back all the real feedback. But having the ability to be able to take that feedback, incorporate it into the product with action and put it back out there means they see that all of a sudden you're a technology department that's responding immensely quickly to their needs. It becomes a real positive experience.
Let's look ahead. 3 years, 5 years. Where do you see yourselves using AI? What benefits do you think it's going to bring?
We see Creatio as being this engine that sits at the heart of our business, powers our digital experience online, self-serve, 24/7 availability, but also taking all of the admin away from our people in the field. Having technology do more of the heavy lifting and people doing more of the people thing is absolutely where we're going to be. It's a tremendously exciting period.
Yeah, that's what we live for. Our successful customers seeing real outcomes and really expanding and dominating their markets with the help of Creatio technology. We have a couple of questions in our chat, so I'd like to talk a little bit more about Academy. So there were some questions about how can I learn Creatio AI, where I can find this information. We have a wonderful resource called academy.creatio.com. We have free of charge e-learning classes. We have all Creatio AI classes available there. You can jumpstart learning Creatio today. Also, we have an AI agent sitting on this academy that will help you to select the right class. It also can help you to go and find any information within our documentation. If you're wondering about certain technical aspects of Creatio platform, without actually going and diving into a maze of data and information, you can use our AI agent and get a response immediately.
Andy, did you say we have an agent that helps us learn about agents? I just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly where we are showcasing how agents can cooperate with agents. I believe that Dr. Duane talked about this cognitive relationship management. I think that's the first step there.
Love it.
Well, and please use the QR code on this slide to download and read the results of the survey. As I shared with you, our marketing team spent quite some time working with our clients and partners and with the ecosystem to gather their feedback about the future of AI. So I hope this will be helpful for you. But listen, we'd love to thank you so much for your time and for all your great questions and for your engagement during webinar. And I hope you all feel the passion and the energy we have inside Creatio about this new era of AI that is coming and about the value, most importantly, the value we're bringing to organizations like Purplebricks, making their life happier, frankly. Very simple like that, making their jobs more efficient, more productive, and their lives happier. So thank you very much for your time, everyone.
Thank you for joining in. Hopefully that was super useful for you. Thank you for your wonderful comments. All the recordings, all the materials will be available on our website. We will also include Q&A transcripts, so you will be able to find all your questions, and we'll take some time to respond to all of them. So if you want to come back kind of and rewatch it and get some and see answers to some questions, it all will be available within a day. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience.
And by the way, for existing customers or those of you that aren't customers yet, hopefully you feel the excitement about the business value that we love to drive. I loved the quote from Dan at Purplebricks that Creatio has become the engine that sits at the heart of their business that's enabled them to get these great results. So if you have any other questions at all, by all means, reach out, because we'd love to talk with you and help make more of those success stories and share yours one day as well.
All right, from all of us at Creatio, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming along on this AI journey with us. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.